Dear Mom and Dad, I have been listening to Richard and Yuri's podcast on Sleepaway Camp for almost 2 hours, and already I'm getting very bored.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
the kiss music.
Politics. What?
The kiss music. Oh, with that part where Paul gives Angela a kiss after the social or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess it's when they're at the volleyball game.
It's like no, it was after. No, it was after the volleyball game. It was after the social because he asks her out to the social, and then after the social, he gives her a kiss,
and the music's like, and then he goes,
"It's like
that was nice. Can I give you another one? Another good night kiss?" And Angela goes, "Okay,
I guess so."
And then he does it again.
She's like, "I have to go now," which I love. It's young romance.
Is that before or after? I think it's still at the volleyball game. When Meg freaks out at Angela. It's like there's several Meg freaking out at Angela scenes, but it just escalates.
It's really
into them. I think this is the first one, and Meg freaks out and calls. He's like, "You're not a goddamn prima donna," calls her that for no reason except for talking to Paul. Mm-hmm. And then the nice counselor, Susie, sweet Susie, she comes along and she's like, "Well, it's no big deal. Let's just get ready for dinner." And Meg goes, "Yeah, let's." So devious.
I gotta say, I thought Susie at first was the killer.
She could have been. It would have made sense.
Could have been.
She's such a nice person.
But then I guess
she's like the one. She's like a shining beacon in the sea of horrible people.
Because there's a moment later on where there's kind of like a dark. She does kind of something a little bit mean, and it's like, oh, maybe she could do it. Maybe she could kill somebody.
Over the top, not mean, just like unexpected.
Yeah.
And then the social, and then he kisses her.
And then Mozart takes out a knife.
Oh yeah,
they do the whole classic shaving cream when you're sleeping.
Right.
And then Mozart takes out a knife and is about to cut these guys.
Yeah, which raises question. Oh, maybe he's the killer,
Right, maybe.
And then in that same scene, Gino comes in, he takes the knife. He's
away.
Like, "Maybe I'll tell Ronnie." He's like, "Okay, we'll see you at the end of the summer." He takes the knife, and then he's like, "And everybody get to bed." And I'm not kidding. And then he's like, "And that includes you too, lover boy," referring to Paul. And then Paul's who's sitting on his bed. I don't know. He throws an acorn or something at them,
they all
body pile on him. And then the scene ends with this really dark, dun, 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 as they're all piling on top of Paul. It's like, is he dead? Did they kill him?
I think yes. We're just seeing an alternate of what could have happened for the rest of the film.
They forgot to cut that scene out of the film. And then all I can remember next is Meg of losing it again.
Oh,
at
no,
Angela.
no.
What else?
They're at the beach or whatever. And then Paul sneaks up behind Angela. He puts his eyes around her, or puts his hands around her eyes. He's like, "Guess who?" She's like, "Paul." It's like, "Guess again."
No, it is Paul.
No. But Paul's like, "Guess again." And he's like, "Burt Reynolds."
No, she says Ricky first. She's like, "Ricky? Guess again."
Oh.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Surprise.
So, this is great. We know that Angela really likes Burt Reynolds.
So what do you think her favorite Burt Reynolds film was?
God, probably Bad News Bears.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Angela watched that Best Little Whorehouse in Texas thinking it was a pornog, and then was deeply disappointed when it was not.
Deliverance.
I think she watched that movie expecting it to be a pornog and was deeply disappointed when it wasn't.
Oh, God. What, so Angela's into pornography?
Sure.
Angela goes to, it's the late 70s, early 80s, so she goes to all those
theaters. She goes to peep shows. She goes to Pee Wee Herman.
Man, I can totally imagine that. It's strange.
People really give Pee Wee Herman a hard time about that. Man, it's such who cares, man?
I'm surprised hearing that from you.
I don't know. It's it was a low hanging fruit.
Wait, he was doing was
adult theater Pee Wee Herman?
He was just in an adult theater because when I was a kid, I heard
it's like what Michael
on
Jackson
the playground.
Jokes
I heard that he exposed himself. That's what I heard.
No,
that's not how it was.
That's never happened. He did literally nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
He jerked off in an adult theater. That's they put cops in there just to get people to fill their quota, like technically it's illegal, but like who cares? Like, what else are you gonna do there?
What's your opinion on
Public adult theaters?
George Michaels?
George Michaels, what'd he do? He just showed his junk to somebody.
I heard that he had sex with a dude in like a washroom at a club or something, and
I'm sure he did that too. But
well, that's what he got.
But like, he got arrested. No, he got arrested for exposing himself to a police officer.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but I think it. You know what though? I think the police I don't know a lot about this, but I'm pretty sure the police officer set him up. He asked to see his junk.
Oh,
and
really?
It was at like a gay club or a gay spot.
Mm.
So it was all like kind of just a setup. Because technically that is illegal to expose yourself, but if it's in that environment, somebody asks. I mean,
have you heard of the upcoming film? It's supposed to be the odds-on favorite for winning Best Picture this year, Spotlight.
I was actually, funny story, I was at the premiere for Spotlight.
You saw it?
I didn't know. I didn't actually get to see the film, but I did see all of its stars and Michael Moore. And J.K. Simmons when I was entering the theater. He was leaving his Q&A.
I wonder if J.K. Simmons is in that movie.
No, he's not. He was in a different movie that was on before it.
Well, I was just asking because there could be like a Spotlight Part 2 all about you standing up for these wrongfully convicted celebrities from the 80s and 90s.
Like Paul Rubens and George Michael. That's all.
I could see a dramatic scene like you slamming your finger onto a table and be like, "It's not right!
It's not right! What else are you supposed to do in an adult theater?
It's what everybody else was doing there."
Yes.
Oh, God. Anyways.
All right, let's get back to Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, and then they're talking.
Reynolds!
And then Meg loses it. I think this is the second of 3 freak-out scenes
in a row
from Meg with Angela. And she's like, "What's wrong, Angela?" I can't remember exactly what she says at first. She's like, "Why won't you go in the water?" It's like, "Angela, why don't you answer me? Angela, I'm waiting for an answer."
That's when Meg shakes her.
Is it? Oh, yeah. And then Ronnie runs up. He's like,
"Hey, take it easy."
He's like, "Meg, what are you doing? You okay, Angela?" "Meg, I want to see you at my bunk right after you do."
You're doing I wish we could see that you were doing the exact hand movements that he was doing in the thing. But it was so stilted. He was half committing to these hand gestures. It's great.
He's half committed to the entire film.
Oh man, which is surprising because he's back in Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Spoiler.
Oh, who cares? Who cares? Ronnie's not dying in this movie.
But he's one of the best characters.
He is. Anyways,
if you want to call him a character. Why don't you like the water, Angela? Anyways, and then the next scene, Judy, they're in the girls' bunk.
Oh, the girls' bunk.
And Judy's obviously Meg's in trouble now, and Judy's like, "Hey, everybody. Let's not forget to thank Angela for getting Meg in trouble." It's yeah, Angela really fucked up, I guess.
And she starts giving Angela a hard time about she showers different
the whole
times
speech.
than the girls.
What's
She's
the whole speech?
"Ever wonder why Angela doesn't shower with the rest of us?
Huh?
Probably hasn't been through puberty yet. Probably doesn't have her period. Who cares? Do girls really care? It's oh, she hasn't had her puberty yet. She doesn't have her painful periods every month. Yeah, who cares?
I don't know. That's a good
We're not one to ask about this, but if you're a woman watching this, please let us know. Is this something that girls get bullied about, that they haven't had their period? I couldn't imagine.
I know
it would
that
be.
When I was, or at least where I came from,
seems so weird.
When I was going through puberty, a topic I'm sure everybody wants to hear about.
What? Your balls haven't dropped yet, Yuri?
Me and the guys, we didn't talk about that.
But you just have a set of marbles down there. Smooth as a baby's butt.
But then there's that whole... What's the whole speech?
Her line.
The carpet.
Okay.
And as she's giving the speech, Susie is trying to stop her and calm her down.
And then Judy's like, Angela, you're a real carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and needs a screw.
Judy, fuck off! And then
fuck off!
And then Susie slaps
Judy.
And then Judy runs off.
That's when I was like, maybe Susie's doing the killings.
And then Angela walks up to Susie. I think Angela, she likes Susie. and walks up. He's like, I'm going out for a little while. I'll be
I'm going
back
to see
after
my
dinner."
cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be back.
And then that's when she walks out. She gets nailed with the water balloon.
Yeah, the guys are playing with water balloons
On
on
a
the
rooftop.
It's fucking dangerous. I
Yeah.
thought one of them was going to fall off and break their neck.
Would have been funny.
But no, they throw a water balloon at Angela, and then Ricky sees this, and he runs over and just has a big tirade of like swear words.
Just unleashes
Yeah,
all
you
that built-up
pussies,
energy.
No,
Just-
cocksuckers are gonna be your fucking ass.
Yeah,
It's like,
fuck
jeez.
it.
And then Mel comes up and he's like,
With a cigar.
"Oh." Of course. How many fucking cigars does he have? It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you no canteen for a week, including you for your filthy mouth."
For your filthy mouth.
Filthy mouth, says the guy chomping on a cigar.
And then he turns to Angela, he's like, "You okay, Angela? Better dry off. You get hypothermia. It's almost time to eat."
Also says like, "Oh, you could have taken her eye out." It's like, really? Water balloon's that dangerous?
Taking her eye
Taking her eye out.
Oh,
and then
God.
there was a kill next.
We got it. Oh yeah, so like it's hilarious leading up to the kill because the next scene, Bill, who was the main, I think he might have been the guy who actually nailed Angela with the water balloon. In the next scene, he's running along with a bunch of hikers, and then he trails off and runs into his bunk cabin. And there's the blonde-haired guy. Neither of them mention the fact that their friend is missing. But anyways,
he got sent home.
Yeah, as they always do.
Which is stupid because it doesn't even make any sense because there's kids who saw the body bag.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
that would have gone.
Where's Kenny? And what's that body bag?
Word
Oh,
would
he
have
got
gone
sent home.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
there was like rumors. You hear like I think between Paul and Angela.
Oh
mentioned,
no,
like,
that
oh,
happens
there's-
after the next kill.
Oh, okay, this kill.
So this kill.
So Bill, he runs into the cabin. He's like, "What's going on, man?" To blonde-haired dude, and blonde-haired dude's like, "We got a game against the counselors. Want to play?" And then Bill goes, "Sure." As he's flipping through a magazine, he's like, "Sure, yeah, but I gotta take a wicked dump first."
Wicked dump.
I love that. Like, gotta
Do you
take a
think
wicked
he's actually
dump.
taking a wicked dump or he's taking a wicked jerk?
Oh, that's a good point. Like,
Because
what
he had
kind of magazine?
I
is
think he had like a
flipping through?
Hustler or something.
Yeah, because then he's in the he's sitting on the toilet, and you just the shot, like what you see in the shot, is like his feet at the bottom of the toilet stall, and then the killer, the camera goes up above to the window, and killer cuts the screen out, and then you hear Bill behind the door like, "That you, Frankie?" Jesus Christ! A guy can't even take a shit in peace around here. And then you see a stick with a beehive on the end of it poked through the screen window, and he's like, "What? What's that? What are you doing? Maybe I should pull my pants up and get out of here." And then he's like,
there's like a
oh,
rod,
yeah, they
there's like
put
a
a
broom
stick.
in the door.
Yeah, that's true. They put
Or
a stick
in the door.
because all
The door
bathroom
handle.
stalls have a lock on the back outside of them to put a stick in front of or whatever. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it makes no.
But
Well, no. So it's
there's
like
no
when he's
purpose for that.
opening the door, he can't get out because the stick is blocking the way.
No, yeah.
But he could have crawled through the pretty large opening at the bottom of the door.
He must have been afraid of bees. Although there's no mention of him being afraid or being allergic. But
But like I don't know, a hive of bees dropped on you. You know that's enough to make anybody like
a little
freak out.
nervous.
Yeah.
A little nervous.
Oh, nervous. I don't know. That would freak me out.
You're not going to say like, "Oh, look at that." Yeah, bitch,
Well,
probably...
that could kill
Excuse
you.
me. Can anybody unlock the door? There's some bees in here.
Well, no, you would just like, holy shit, better get out of here. I'll just crawl underneath the obvious opening in the zoo door, and he probably would have survived.
Fight or flight? Like he totally should have done that.
Well, he can't fight with a beehive.
Yeah, like.
Can't fight angry bees. That's a fight you're gonna lose. But anyways, so then
He's dead.
He's dead. He's
Yeah.
dead. Whatever. Kind of a lame death.
But it's interesting, like all these, they're not like, stab and slash. There's like a,
Oh no,
it's a
there's more-
variety of inventive.
They're more
deaths.
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that as well.
And then the next thing that I thought was pivotal, I was really cramming in, like watching the movie and trying to make notes of important things.
Mhm.
The capture the flag thing, or do you have anything before that?
Well, the capture the flag thing was like a lot of setup for something that.
You know what's funny is
so much. Yeah.
they actually, I don't know if they were just trying to use filler, but the camp counselors stand there and explain how you play capture the flag.
Yeah, and it's like, do
goes
we
through
need
the
to
entire-
know this? Like, just cut to the scene where they're like, where
Playing
Ricky's like,
capture-
Angela, help me with capture the flag.
Yeah.
Because then they find Paul is. Oh no, we're skipping ahead.
What?
The scene where Ricky and Angela they have their kiss. They chase each other at the
Ricky and Angela?
at the
Incest?
No, sorry, I meant Paul and Angela. They have a kiss by the lake.
Oh,
They're
and
chasing each other by the lake, and Angela pushes him, and it's cute.
He falls on top of her. It's like all consented, more or less.
Yeah, it's fun. It's playful.
Then he's like kissing her neck, and he's like fiddling with the button on her shirt, and she's like, "Don't." He's like, this is when he's kind of a douche. He's like, "Come on, Angela, I'm not doing anything." And then he keeps on unbuttoning her shirt, and then it goes into this
flashback.
I don't know,
dream sequence.
It's almost like a manifestation in her head of like some deeper meaning,
deep memories.
And it's like her and her brother when they're kids, and they oversee their father with another guy who like they're in bed. They were lovers.
Who we saw earlier
at the very beginning of the
first film.
Of this film.
Yes.
At the very beginning of this film, when
this is the first film in the series.
Right when they're run over by the boat, this guy who, for all you know, at the beginning of the film is just like his friend or his buddy on the shore. Right. He's like, John. John, you're dead.
Right. Yeah. But they're like tenderly embracing.
But you could tell that the actors, like, they're not doing it. Like, it's not.
It's not convincing.
They're like kind of like almost even hardly touching each other, and like it's just like weird and awkward. Yeah. Like it wasn't authentic. I didn't feel that. No. It's almost like they were really forcing.
But it's such a small scene, anyways.
Yeah. And then the kids are like laughing as they're watching this, and then it goes to a scene where the brother and sister are on a bed. And the brother is pointing at the sister, and then it's just like the camera's going around them, and then it cuts back to Angela and Paul on the beach, and she pushes him off, and is like, "No!" and runs away.
No!
And he's like,
Angela.
Yeah,
Angela. Somebody screaming "Angela" becomes the trademark of the film.
Yeah, in
the catchphrase
in the same way. It's like,
Angela.
It's always like Angela.
Man, there's anyways.
Capture the flag.
Capture the flag. And they're playing capture the flag, and then Ricky's like, Angela, help me play capture the flag.
He's gonna go around the borders of the field or whatever.
Right, and Angela's gonna come the other way too, so they can
as a distraction.
Yeah. Right, but then they run into Paul kissing Judy.
Yeah, because earlier in that whole capture the flag scene, it starts with Paul apologizing. You know, Paul. This is thing. He's apologizing to Angela.
That's what they call him,
because
Paul.
He cares.
Because he's always apologizing.
He's remorseful. Which is another reason why I think he has more morals than other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is apologizing, and then Angela's still pissed off about it, and she walks away, and then Judy comes up. She's like, she's such a square, isn't she, or whatever? And then he's like, well, what do you know? And she's like, I know a lot of things. And then he's like, oh. And then they run into them.
And they kiss. But it was like such a lame. It was like she kisses him, and it's like, that wasn't so bad, now was it?
I guess not.
I guess not.
That's what he says. He's like, I guess.
It's hilarious.
And they kiss again. And it's actually Ricky, not Ricky and Angela, but Ricky comes upon them and sees that. And then they part, and there's Angela on the other side of them, and she runs away. It's like, Angela. Again, Angela.
And then Ricky's like, you're a real scumbag, Judy.
Or is that what he says? Yeah, you're a real scumbag. You know that, Judy? And she like just taunts Ricky more. Like,
yeah, and then Ricky's like, fuck off, and she's like, same to you. Same to you was so shocking and offensive that they cut Judy's line in the edited version of this movie.
The censorship.
They kept fuck off.
Keep in the fuck off, but take off the
same to you. We can't have.
We don't want to offend people. Okay.
Seriously. Ending scene, keep that in. Anyways.
And then it quickly leads to later, Paul, again, remorseful, because he's such a great guy. He pretty much begs Angela for forgiveness. Yeah. And then this is, again, like on the beach. Everybody's in the water except for Angela. And then Judy tells Angela that... Or no, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Paul is begging Angela for forgiveness, and Judy tells Angela that Paul called her, gasp, a prude. She's trying to get Paul in trouble. It's like, that's why he said that you were such a prude, Angela. And Meg comes along and drags Angela to the water.
She carries her, not drags. She carries her over
kicking
her
and screaming. Yeah. Literally kicking and screaming. Drags her to the... And Angela, like, her Boston, New Yorkish, whatever accent comes. She's like, "Don't throw me in the water! Don't throw me in the water!"
Don't throw me in the water.
Again, this is all happening for no reason at all. Like, I don't know where this frustration in Meg is coming from. I really don't.
No,
like,
I don't
and
either.
the only thing that I could think to justify
weird.
is if she's trying to impress Judy. But, like, Judy is younger than her. Why is she trying? Like, I don't know.
Why do you want to impress Judy?
Maybe they're just, like, really best friends, Judy and Meg, which would make sense.
I think
and just trying to, like, back her friend.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But that's the only plausible explanation for why she does this to Angela, right?
Oh, I know why maybe she spelled her name wrong.
Angela, you spelled your name wrong. I'm throwing you in the water.
B.
Oh.
You're dead to me, Angela. Fuck you. Throws her in the water.
Yeah, and
then
meanwhile, while this scene is intercut with another event also happening on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Because Mel, I think it was after Bill's death with the bees. There's a scene where Mel is like, "Finished. We're finished.
That's it. We're finished.
We can't keep covering." And then Mel's like, Ronnie's like. I can't remember actually what Ronnie's standpoint was in this scene. If he was like saying like we should shut the camp down, or he's like there's only 25 campers left, Mel. Like that's what he says. There's only 25 kids in this entire camp. Apparently.
Right. But does Mel have the idea, the thought that it was Ricky did it?
Yeah. He's like.
Must be the kid.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget how he gets.
It's because he sees the hostility in Ricky when Angela.
Oh yeah. I saw it in his eyes.
I saw it. Is that what he says?
Yeah, something like that. And then
but he's not sure yet. He's not sure, but he's
pretty sure.
He's pretty suspicious of Ricky.
Yeah, but then he goes over to Ricky at the
while
beach.
Angela is, and he's
Just
Angela's being torn away. Angela is being torn away by the girl that Mel is trying to get into bed with. 40 years his junior, and he's like, "Hey Ricky, smoking a cigar. Hey Ricky, how are you enjoying your camp so far this summer?" And Ricky's like, "Hey Mel, it's all right. Wish there was kind of some more guys around. It's kind of hard to get a baseball game going." And there's this close up of Mel like sticking his tongue into his bottom lip. He's like, "Yeah, it is a shame so many had to leave."
I kind of love that. Like, just like he's like playing it as if it was like he's interrogating like an adult, but it's like a child.
It's funny you should say that because I was reading online that Mike Kellen, the actor that plays Mel, he played a lot of mobsters and cops. That's what his key roles were. So he probably had done the interrogation cop scene many times. Right. And he's like talking to the director, like, "What do I talk to him? Like I'm interrogating a suspect in an interrogation room."
That's something I can do
with a cigar. And
that's so.
So, anyways, Mel is suspecting Ricky. Are we to assume that? The fact that Mel says that so many of them had to leave, but really only two boys we've seen have been murdered.
Yeah.
But are we to assume that more people are being killed than what we're actually seeing? Because there's only 20. It's like there's only 25 left. That's 2 less than the 27 we started with. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's any other murders that we didn't see.
I think it's a possibility though. Because remember what you said. I don't let me just think if this is giving away any plot points.
No, it's not. I know you're.
Well, in the sequel, they're talking about how there were hardly any survivors after this massacre.
Yeah, they said there was in the sequel they said there were 30 deaths.
You thought you were talking to me saying, does that mean that after the movie ends, a bunch more people are killed? But maybe it's that there were many deaths going on throughout the film. They just weren't sure. It's a theory. That's all I'm saying.
It's possible.
So anyways, yeah, as like so Meg throws Angela into the water. Angela's drowning. And then Ronnie, he runs up to the scene. He sees Angela drowning in the water and sees Mel, who's now shaking Ricky. He's like, "You did it, didn't you? Didn't you?
You did those times before."
And then what?
When he says, like, you did those times before.
You did those times before, didn't you? And then Ricky's like, "Fuck off, I don't know what the hell you're talking about," or whatever. And Ronnie's like,
"Watch your mouth.
I gotta make a decision." And he runs up to Mel and he's like, "Jesus Christ, Mel, what are you doing?" And then Mel's like, "What?" He's kind of like this. What am I doing? I guess I don't
know. What am I doing?
Like, it's hard to know. Like Mel goes in and out of these states of
some insane character.
Deep not disillusionment. He just kind of like gets lost in his thoughts and starts talking out loud, and then he snaps out of it. But once he snaps out of it, you never really know what's on his mind. You know, when he's not saying what he's thinking. And so, anyways, I thought that another thing is it took Judy a lot of guts, a goddamn lot of guts, to go and throw a girl into water who can't swim. The same girl,
Meg.
Yeah, sorry. Meg has a lot of goddamn guts because she goes and throws a girl into the water, a girl who can't swim. The same girl who she just got in trouble with Ronnie for shaking like the day before, and she does this in front of Ronnie. It's like, what? And then she doesn't get in any trouble.
She's insane.
It's like, I shake this girl in front of Ronnie, I get in trouble. I throw her in the water in front of Ronnie, and she almost drowns, but nothing. In fact, I get the night off after that.
Really makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I love then like little kids like throw sand at her too when she's getting out of the water.
Yeah, and
then Ricky calls out, "You little fuckers!"
Yeah, he's like fuckers. And then the same camp counselor, I guess like the beach lifeguard who like discovered Eddie is it Eddie?
I think it is Eddie. Eddie or Gino.
No, it's definitely not Gino. No, it's not.
Eddie.
It's neither of them.
Ronnie?
It's neither of them. It's a completely different character.
So many fucking characters that just have like one line and are pointless.
Yeah, he's like first he's like
animals.
No. But before that, he's like, what does he say? He's like, you're a real peckerhead. You know that, Meg?
Oh yeah, peckerhead.
And then the kids are as Ricky's like
throwing sand,
like helping Angela walk away. He's like, "Hey, animals, knock it off!
Knock it off!" Yeah, I wrote that line down. I like that line.
Oh my god! And like, it's just funny. Like Mel, he's trying to catch a child killer, but he doesn't care that his girlfriend Meg is throwing a girl who can't swim into the water. He starts shaking and yelling. Another child.
He has priorities.
He starts shaking and then until Ronnie comes along and stops him. He's like, and it sure took Meg a lot of guts. And like Meg is really looking forward. It's later that night. So because she threw Angela into the water, Ronnie gives her the night off. It's like Meg, I'm going to reprimand you for shaking that girl. And then she throws the same girl into the water. Meg, I'm going to give you the night off.
You deserved it.
And then her and Susie, who like haven't gotten along, like they're like, yeah, right on, man. Are you lucky, man? You're not kidding. I could use the night off. And Meg is really looking forward to her dinner with Mel. She goes up and
she's happy.
Yeah,
she's
super
ecstatic.
Happy. She's
even talking to other people. I was like, I have a date tonight.
It's like Mel is such a dream. Such a dream. I don't know.
This like old crusty old man like chewing cigars. Oh man, can't do better than that.
That's right. And that's what I was talking about before, that scene where you really see a lighter side of Judy and Meg's characters. She's just like so happy to be going out, and she needs to have a shower.
Yeah,
that's what this whole thing this scene's about.
She's going on. She got to have a shower.
She's got to get ready for she wants to look as good as Mel. You know?
Wait, just one step on the still on the Meg and Mel thing. Like
the what?
The Meg and Mel Meg and Mel thing. Meg has like there are other guys her age that are like in tip top physical shape, way better than fucking Mel is. There's like literally no reason why Meg should be attracted to Mel. There's like none. Nothing makes sense.
The only plausible. She's an anomaly. She just doesn't make sense. The only plausible thing is that she wants to get in bed with her, the guy who has authority over her. You know, kind of like the Lewinsky Clinton kind of.
Right. But like, oh man, it just. Ugh.
That's
at least Clinton, is kind of, charming. I could see that.
It's like, what's she gonna get out of sleeping with Mel? Extra food at dinner?
It's like no charisma. Mel probably has. Well, I guess he has game. He must have game. But like,
he was a pimp.
That's in your head canon, not necessarily mine or the writers. But
who knows?
Anyways, I'm gonna drop it because I could talk like for hours about that. How that makes no fucking sense.
Meg is really looking forward to the dinner
for some reason.
She
goes to the showers.
She's killed in the shower.
Oh, you can jump in it. She goes to the showers and it's all lined up. So she goes to an empty
The next cabin over, because nobody... Apparently, they're all lined up in her cabin to take a shower. Like, 20 girls are lined up. That's over... But yeah, let's say 20 girls are lined up.
She goes to another cabin
and for some reason, all these girls don't just go to the next cabin like her. But whatever, Meg's all by herself, and she's singing da 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 da, da as one does when they shower.
She goes like, classic song, Meg in the shower.
And I have to say, her on-screen death is just horribly acted.
It's hilarious.
What you see is a knife. It's not a shower curtain. It's like a knife jams through a cardboard.
The cardboard back of the shower box, I guess.
And you see the knife being like slit down the cardboard box and blood splurting out. And then it keeps intercutting to her in the shower going, ooh, ah!
It's how you act when you're like pretending to die.
I thought it would have been like
play acting. It's like,
yeah. Or like if a high school kid in drama class is like, this is me when I'm taking a shit. You're like, ooh, ah, ooh, and then
she's like, it's hilarious. It's like probably the funniest stuff in this movie.
Oh my goodness.
And
random counselor Eddie leaves little sleeping children, defenseless sleeping children, the youngest children at the camp, the same kids who were kicking sand at Angela and Ricky before.
Just so happens.
He leaves them alone in the forest in the middle of the night because it shows earlier, the same scene where Meg is given the night off. Ronnie also gives Eddie the assignment of taking his little children out into the woods camping.
Not his actual biological children, but like children that he's taking care of.
Well, I hope they weren't his biological children.
Never know. And
they're two of them want to leave. They wake up in the middle of the night.
I'm cold, Eddie.
Eddie, I'm cold.
Please, Eddie.
Me too. And then he's like, you guys are really pain in my butt. You know that? But Eddie, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Yeah. Except that the fact that he left a bunch of children unattended.
Yeah.
So he just, he walks over and he drives them back to the camp.
Okay, up to the car. But as he's leaving, he turns back and looks at the 3 or 4 kids that he's leaving
behind. 3, I think.
Yeah, it is 3 because later...
They mentioned 3.
Yeah, and he looks at them. He's like, maybe I should... No, I'll leave them. He leaves. Like, he has like a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, I wonder what I would do in that.
It is a
that's
legitimate
a tough situation. Yeah,
but really, you should,
because chances are they would have been fine.
You wake up all the kids. If you're gonna take 2 of them, why not just fucking wake up the other 3 and be like, okay, we're all going back.
But you don't want to wake them up.
No, man, that is what you do.
No, that's what you should do.
That is what anybody would do in real life.
I don't know.
That is what.
I think some people would probably just leave the kids.
I would like people to
are
comment
what's going to happen
and tell us what you would do in any situation.
They're all just going to say they would just take the kids with them. They're just
that is what
try
you
to
would
be
do.
Nice.
That is what that is what. Oh, you're right.
That's what you should do.
People don't want to.
Not everyone's
like
going to do this.
But...
Not everyone's going to do this. Some people, they're just like, I don't want to wake them, because then they have to go back to sleep again, and I have to take all of them.
There could be bears.
Like, yeah, but there could be bears anyways, Anyways,
can I just jump forward to the scene that leads up, the follow-up scene to that one, or do we have to go through everything in between? Let's just go.
Let's go to the follow-up scene.
Yeah, the follow-up scene is he comes back, and the 3 kids that he's left there have turned into a pile of bloody sleeping bag cotton.
Right. They could have just all had their periods
and got killed by a bear.
Ran away.
It's so strange though, they're again, like, it's the same pattern. They did something to Angela or Ricky and then they end up dead. But it's like chronologically and looking at the other events and the pacing of the film and where other characters are, it doesn't really make sense. And also the fact that
it's so
they're driven far and deep into the woods.
That the killer would need to walk all the way there. And be like, fucking shit.
And how would the killer even know?
How would the killer even know where these kids are?
This isn't a boogeyman. This is a resourceful whodunit killer.
Apparently, the writer, the director regrets killing the kids.
Why?
I don't know. I just heard that he regretted doing that.
Well, he had to because the body count was too low at that point.
Yeah, but it's like they're kids and they don't really do it. They just threw water at her.
But if he's already killing 14 and 15-year-olds, I mean...
Yeah, but these are children that They probably didn't even know. They were probably just doing it because of peer pressure. It's like the one kid started throwing sand. It's like, oh, I guess we might as well too.
I can think of other characters who do worse shit in the movie who don't get killed. Like
who?
the other. Well, I can't stand like in the. I'm sure there's some people out there that know what I'm talking about.
Artie.
Here.
Artie doesn't.
Artie,
We don't see him die.
he has a fate worse than death, though.
Oh, true.
But
he's the only person that like really deserves to die. I feel
he lives in extreme agony and pain
Right.
every inch of his body.
man.
Jesus, the pain must be incredible. Anyways, that scene with the water balloon fight.
Yeah.
There's all the guys, but then there's that one short, younger, blonde-haired, chubby kid who you could tell he's like one of those kids that are like, just repeating everything that the older, cooler kids are saying. It's like they all throw up their middle fingers, so he throws up his middle finger like all cool.
Oh
and
yeah.
everything. You remember that kid?
He's like, he's
He's like, I'm just like you guys. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I hate that kid because it just reminds me
His middle finger
of
cut
other.
off.
yeah, he should have just lost his finger. Anyways, so yeah, those kids are all dead.
Those kids are dead because they threw sand.
And
Tough break.
Judy, I mean, I'm just like rushing because the movie really does rush in the last, say, like 15 minutes. All this shit starts happening.
It gets pretty good though.
It escalates amazingly.
It's accelerating action.
So
descending action.
Judy's big moment. Judy is surprise murdered. In quite a god-awful way, apparently. I didn't realize... I think it might even been Cinemasker who pointed out exactly the biology of her death. But
no, I don't think they did.
Well, I don't remember where I heard this. I read it somewhere or something, or maybe another podcast I'm ripping off right now, probably. But apparently, what you see is she's making out with blonde-haired guy. Again, someone who should have died, but for some reason wasn't. He's lucky. And then Mel comes in and he hides under the bed, and Mel's like, with his cigar in hand, you're seeing Meg. I'm supposed to have sex with Meg, and Judy's like, no, I haven't seen Meg. I'm just alone in the dark reading a magazine. And he's like, oh well, you know what? I know about eyes, and you're ruining your eyes reading in the dark like that. But see you later. And then he leaves, and then.
And the guy
leaves because he's all sketched out. Yeah, and she's like, chicken shit. It's like
she's kind of a chicken shit.
She's back in the big B mode. And as soon as he leaves, like literally like 3 seconds after he shuts the door opens again, and you see. Can I just say what you see in the Blu-ray, or should I not? Because what you see is a certain actor wearing. You see a certain actor.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what.
You see an actor.
You see an actor who's one of the main characters.
Supposed to be in silhouette.
Yeah.
In the original print of the film, I'm sure. But since of recent digital restorations, now it's clear as day who this actor is.
Yeah. And even if I said the name of the actor, which I won't, but it wouldn't even necessarily be a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler because that actor's not the killer.
You see an actor.
And it's like
and she's like, who is it? I mean, people watching the film can see it, but it's you. What do you want? Well, and then it's funny, like a big close-up of a fist just smacking her in the face.
It's hilarious.
She's knocked out. She's like, what do you want? Well.
I think it's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And then Meg really gets it bad. She gets Judy really gets it bad. She gets a curling iron up her vagina.
Yeah, and the way they show it is like you just see her knocked out, and then the killer put a pillow over her head, and then you see the silhouette shadow of she had just been holding the curling iron for like a second while her fuck buddy was leaving the room.
Right,
and then the silhouette of the shadows. You see the killer's hand picking up the curling iron and like. Holding it up and then putting it in a downward dive. And then you see her hands go up kind of like Dracula rising from the grave, and you hear her like going, and I always thought that it was like, I when I was a child, I didn't think like, oh, he's putting it up her vagina.
I thought she was putting it up her butt.
I thought, yeah. Or like, I don't know, like burning her face or something. But no, apparently... That makes sense, though, considering what the film is later revealed to be about. It makes sense, actually. So, and she's kind of a
Slut. Yeah, that
so,
too. That angle too.
Um,
But do you think she lived? Yeah. She probably could have lived from that.
No, I'm just going to assume not, because she's then a body that is shoved under a bed. Which
she could have like fainted from the pain, you know.
Let's not do the body count any disjustice than it already has done itself. Let's just say she's
these
dead.
Films aren't all just about body count.
Well, it is. There's a formula.
About the kill scenes.
There's a formula.
But the killing scenes doesn't mean there has to be killing in these scenes. But
I'm gonna say she's dead, or like Artie, a fate worse than death.
Yeah, I was talking to Steph about that. Is that enough to kill somebody?
It could maybe
getting a thing up your.
Well, she could have passed. She could have died of shock, or just passed out.
That's true.
But that'd
be fucking painful.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if that'd kill you.
Anyways, I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna start thinking otherwise about that at this point in my life. Right. She's been dead all these years, and she's gonna remain.
Well,
dead.
there's like a short film, like a fan film.
Yeah.
With the actual, is there?
It's
Karen
like
Fields.
Judy is back.
I actually didn't watch all of it. I just kind of watched the first.
I don't even want to watch it, and I haven't.
I haven't watched it yet. It just seems
I'm a fan of the series, but it
seems like it would be bad.
I mean, it's not a film that we're going to do in this podcast. So
no, well, it's not. It's a short film, so it's a fan film. Although technically we're going to be reviewing a fan film, but anyways.
So let's go to the scene, one of the best scenes in the movie, when Mel discovers Meg's dead body in the shower.
I love this.
So can I do this? Can I say what he says?
Please.
This is what he says.
Oh,
he's like. He walks in. I can't remember the lead up to the moment, but he walks in. He opens up the shower, and there's Meg, and it's again pretty good makeup. It's like a really effective looking dead body of Meg.
Yeah.
And then the music's like, "Dur, dur," and then Mel leans against the wall, and I think he doesn't have a cigar in this scene actually.
Damn.
But he's like, "Oh my God, not you, Meg! He did this." And then he lights up a cigar. Music's all intense.
Oh, it's been 2 seconds.
Mel keeps talking to himself. He's like, he did this to get back at me. And I had him, Meg. I had him and I let him go. Forgive me, Meg. Please forgive me. I'll stop him, Meg. Gotta stop him. He'll never get away from me again. But yeah, that's what he says. And then he's like... So it's what essentially happens in the scene is he goes through like several stages of shock, grief, and vengeance in like 5 lines, talking to himself. He's like, "Oh my God, Meg! He did this. I'm gonna get revenge." And then
and it's such like a terrible performance. He's so bad.
It's the writing that's so bad.
I gotta stop him.
Gotta stop him. Forgive me, Meg. Please,
He like loved Meg
almost as much as he loved his cigars.
Man, he just wanted to get his prune wet.
He did love Meg because he's like really upset. I mean, he's more upset than any of the other campers.
Yeah, he probably hasn't had love in a long time.
Maybe,
Meg obviously really liked him.
Maybe he had a ring.
He's gonna propose as a teenage bride. Oh no.
Or maybe it wasn't a ring. Maybe it was like one of those jewelry boxes that a ring would come in, but bigger. And then she opens it, and it's like a cigar.
Like a diamond-crusted cigar.
For you, Meg.
Oh, no.
So, the actor who plays... and again, things are really... I have like all kinds of notes that I'm going to go over after we get to the very final scene here. But
Mel lays the beat down.
What?
Well, Mel...
Oh, yeah. The actor who plays Ricky, he shows up... like, the rec hall social is just ending, and Ricky shows up, and... sorry.
Ricky.
Ronnie gets a call. As Ricky is like walking along by himself along the camp trail, eating like chocolate bars and shit. And in the background, Ronnie gets a call, and it's about the murdered little children in the woods. And he's like, "What? Oh God, no! 3 of them? I just don't believe it." And then in the forefront of the shot, all of a sudden, a big greasy cigar-holding arm drags Ricky out of the picture, and it's Mel dragging him into the woods. And again, Ricky's like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing, Mel? Get off of me!" What? He's like, "You did it, didn't you? You killed them all. First, I saw you. I saw you.
I saw you those times."
And then he's like, "No, it wasn't me." And he's like, "No, it was you." And Ricky's like, "What?" No, not reason to say that, but like he's like, "It wasn't me."
Ricky gets pounded.
And no. What Mel does is he pounds him kind of like the way, like a gorilla, like pounding him like a gorilla.
He's like an old man. So
he's like, liar, liar, just pounding him with the bottom.
But
of his
he's like
fist.
an old man, so it's like even more pathetic. But he like knocks him out cold, and his like face is all bloody.
Well, you think at first that Ricky is certainly dead because or it could just be it's probably because he was a youth actor and they didn't want to show him being beaten to death on screen. But you can assume that he's beaten to death.
They've showed lots of kids getting murdered in this movie, though.
Not really. There's the kid who gets the beehive. You don't see that. You just see like him
basically
after.
See it.
The closest thing you see to a kid getting killed is when Kenny's head is pushed under the water.
All right. But I actually read about this. Apparently, he was supposed to die.
Who?
Ricky.
Yeah.
But then they later changed it.
It doesn't add anything to the plot.
It doesn't.
It's just like...
Well, it adds to Return to Sleepaway Camp when Ricky shows up
that's
again.
What they were probably thinking at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, right after he's, for all we know at this point, murdered Ricky, he's like... and then he starts talking to himself. Lights up a cigar, starts talking to himself again. He's like, "I got him. Just like I promised you, Meg. I got him."
So hilarious.
And then he hears a stick crack in the woods somewhere. And then he's like, and this is what I was talking about, like...
Gotta hide.
Then he's like, well, what's going through his mind now? Is he, like, hiding because he just realized he just fucked up big time? Or is he afraid that the real killer is, like, going to kill him? Because he's like, wait, I gotta get away. Because I probably just murdered a child in the woods for no reason.
Yeah, basically. I love how he just gives his entire thought process.
Out loud.
Oh, no, what am I going to do? Oh, I'll have to move to a different country.
I'll have to get a different identity. Yeah.
What if I have sleepaway camps in New Jersey?
I wonder if Ron likes New Jersey. But
gotta go back into pimping.
And then he gets killed with an archery arrow through the neck. Which is great.
It can't be you.
It can't be you. It can't be.
It can't be.
And he's dead. So then,
why couldn't it have been the person who it is?
What?
Why couldn't it have been?
What do you
can't
mean?
be.
Oh yeah, that's again why.
Why couldn't he be like, oh, well, that makes sense, I guess.
It's like every. It can't be. Well, because he just murdered a child who he thought was the killer.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't be a cold-blooded murderer.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you think about it, Mel gets pretty good. He could have been in jail for the rest of his pathetic life. But instead, he just gets an arrow through the neck, so.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And people wouldn't even know that he almost beat the kid to death.
Yeah, even if Ricky does survive, but like, he's still fucked up. And then, Sue, at this point, shit is going down. Like, shit is really going down. People are popping up and like, oh my god, bodies. And it's like, oh my god, kids are missing. It's like, holy shit, where's this person? And like, Susie goes to Ronnie. She goes, Angela and Judy are missing. And Ronnie's like, this is like, again, like the horrible acting talent of Paul D'Angelo. It's like, Susie goes, Ronnie, Angela and Judy are missing. He's like, oh no, there's a killer loose. Shit. And then Mustache Cop is back, but with electrical tape instead of a mustache, or what would appear to be electrical shape.
So bad.
And it's like
doesn't even match his hair color.
Yeah, I know. It's just, but you mentioned to me that he was actually, you read or something, that he's actually a really good stage actor, the guy that plays Mustache Cop.
Oh no, I've never said that.
No,
I was talking about Mel.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because he was. I thought you were telling me about Mustache Cop. I got miscommunicated.
Frank the cop. He was
because
the reason why he has a fake mustache is
because he was.
It was a reshoot.
Yeah, and he had gone off to some other production and shaved his mustache off, and then he had to come back, so he put on electrical tape, and then
it really does look like electrical tape.
Yeah, and he's really like there's a true look of horror on his face when a bunch of the counselors are like coming out. They just discovered Meg's
dead body.
And they come out, but they don't show it again. They just like it's a good scene. All the one
Why
girl
isn't
comes
it Judy's body?
What?
Why isn't it Judy's body that they find? I
Why
always found
not
that
Meg's
weird
body?
because they already found Meg's body.
Yeah, and look what it did to Mel.
Well, I always wondered if there was like a shot of Judy's dead body that they cut or something.
Because it's the same reason that you don't. Well, I guess you do see the dead. Okay, you see a dead kid with a snake coming out, or you see a dead kid covered in bees, but they're not going to show a dead kid with her vagina burned out of her body.
I don't think you would see the vagina.
Like they could have shown her body, but
they could have just shown.
They
her
wouldn't
face.
have been able to show the gore, and there was no point in showing any of the bodies without the gore. So,
that's the point.
Yeah. But anyways, and then Mustache Cop runs in because he's got to get a look at this horrible thing. And then he comes out with this just really great look of horror on his face. And the camp counselors look at his face and they realize like, oh man, shit is pretty bad at this point. Shit is going down. And
speaking of going down,
okay, so
there's
what
at the beach.
Oh wait. We're at the final scene, and at this point, everything is just extremely heightened. The stakes, everything's at this. It's just like insanely intense at this moment in the film.
Everyone's dying.
Susie and Ronnie are lurking / searching for Angela.
All the
Judy.
all the campsters now are in pairs looking for survivors.
Boy, girl.
Yeah.
As they're going through the woods, Ronnie's like, "What's that sound?" You hear like a low humming.
Before that,
what?
There's a scene where
sorry.
Angela said to meet Paul later at the beach, and then they meet at the beach, and she's like, "I want to go swimming in the water," and he's like, "What about our clothes?" And she's like,
she turns her back to him and goes,
"Take them off." And he's like,
"Okay,
all right." And there's like a big huge music thing's like,
and like. He's like just ripping his clothes off, and Angela takes a breath
slowly
and starts taking her
unbuttoning,
clothes
and
off.
it's like a teenage level. There's something sinister going on.
Yeah, there's mysterious, not necessarily sinister, but definitely.
So now
mysterious.
I've come from the last scene of the movie.
Yeah, it's great. So
Ronnie and Susie, they go to the beach and they hear music. They hear somebody humming. It's like. I don't know. I was thinking it was like, but no, that's Meg's theme.
No, it's and it's like Angela. I can't remember, but they know it's Angela.
Yeah.
Her back's turned to them, and
see her.
And then there's like and a flashback to. Her.
Oh yeah, well we gotta say they're both naked on the beach. Like Angela's like she appears
you see
to be
her
like
naked
holding Paul's head while he's laying down on the beach, and you can see his eyes smiling.
And it goes to the flashback, and it's right after the accident from the beginning of the film, and she's a child again, and her head's all bandaged up because she got run over by a fucking motorboat, and Aunt Martha is going on one of her ridiculous rants, like, "Oh, it's gonna be so lovely to have you here," and isn't Angela? Why I think it's like, why I remember when George went off to the war. She's like, well, I think that means angel, don't you? Isn't that wonderful, Angela? It's such a wonderful name. I've always wanted a little girl. When my husband left me, and one reason why she's kind of fucked up, I guess it really traumatized her when her husband left her. I never thought I'd have a chance to have a little girl, but now I have a little girl, and Angela's gonna be her name. That's a wonderful name, don't you?
I already have a
little boy.
I already have a little boy. 2 boys simply won't do. So
don't you think Angela's a great name?
Peter.
And then Angela looks up, but it's not Angela. It's Peter. Peter's face.
It's the little boy who you thought was killed in the accident. Au contraire, it's the little girl Angela was killed.
Yes.
Peter was the boy. Peter has been brought up, raised as a girl
named Angela. His sister.
The sister.
Raised as his sister.
Which is that's traumatic. You're raised as the dead person.
Your dead sibling.
Your dead sibling.
Who you saw killed in front of you.
Yeah.
And as soon as he lifts his head, it cuts back to the present, to this fucked up
Fucking.
scene.
Oh, horrifying.
Where,
this is your last creepy. Spoiler warning. Oh, well,
yeah, I would point out right now. Oh, fuck, it's kind of too late now. But I would even say before this, I would say,
we spoil the entire
if you
movie
haven't even seen
point.
this film and you're listening to the podcast, stop it now and go and watch the film.
I think you're going to want to see this for yourself anyway.
Yeah.
We can't really describe it as well.
And it just, like, it cuts back, like, Peter lifts up his head, cuts back to the present scene on the beach. Angela stands up, and she's kind of, like, going...
Yeah, it's like fucking horrifying.
She's hissing with her mouth dropped wide
I can't even
open.
Do it. She's like,
and
she looks fucking. I think
what
creepy.
She's supposed to be doing is breathing really heavily or whatever.
But it sounds like masculine. I feel like I don't think the actor was actually the actress actually. I don't think she was actually doing this.
The camera pans back, and it's Angela is standing there. It's a young male's body.
Yeah,
you see this dick and everything.
You see dick and bush.
Yeah, and you see Paul's severed
head,
smiling head,
severed head,
a smiling severed, like a huge grin on. There's a happy-go-lucky grin on his face.
I gotta wonder how he got.
You had no idea. You had no idea.
Well, I don't know. I thought he was getting blown before he got.
Which would make sense, but so. It's like, let me just lay this out. There's two teenagers, one covered in blood and holding a knife, the other decapitated with a smile on his face. Yes, it turns out Angela is a boy. Angela is Peter because she's naked with a penis on her. And this is camp owner Ronnie's timely response. This is what he says, folks. He goes, "How can it be? My God, she's a boy."
That is like,
oh yeah,
that would be my first reaction. Oh Jesus.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah," and then there's Paul's smiling, decapitated head. But she's a
nothing
boy.
about that. She's a boy.
She's a boy. And that's the last line in the film is Ronnie. That's the line that people like. You got. It's just. He's like. It's not. It's not like. It's not like. It's not like. How can it be? We have all these murdered kids everywhere. It's like, how can it be? She's a boy.
Like
that. And then Susie should be like, Ronnie, there's a fucking murdered boy.
No. She's like, oh no. He's like, oh, geez, that's the weirdest thing that I've seen.
I can't believe he's in shock. He's like, it's like, what would happen in real life? That would if in real life, if you walked upon that scene, you would be in so much shock and horror.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be fixated on the fact that
penis.
Oh yeah, penis. That's all I can think about. Hey, look, penis.
Look, there it is.
Penis.
Little bodily thing.
She's a boy.
No, it's like, but that image of like. Of her like making like the full bodied image of her is like fucking creepy.
Yes, it is.
Because that's like, because I know why. Because like they got
they couldn't show. Obviously, the actress didn't have a penis. Plus, it was a child actor.
You know,
she couldn't even do that.
That'd be fucking weird.
So they got a college kid they got him really drunk. Made a mold of her face, but it's early '80s shitty makeup mold. Doesn't exactly look extremely realistic,
but that makes it creepier.
Yeah. Put it on top of this guy when he was drunk, and just told him to like moan and breathe heavily.
Yeah.
And that's the last image of the scene. Like the camera pulls out, you see the dick. Ronnie says a stupid, shitty line, and then the last image of the film is just a close up of that face, and then it freezes and turns to like, what do you call that? Like a bright, like a light effect. The way that it freezes all green and whatever.
Shit, like not overexposure, but
yeah, it is like an overexposed film print or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. And it turns green, and then it freezes on that, and then the credits roll.
But man, that image though, like when I saw the movie, like it wasn't scary up to that point. I was just kind of watching it and it's like, this is whatever. This is what it is. And then that image, I just saw that, and I was like, okay, no, but I just scrolled down from the window. I was just like...
You were like, what?
I was watching it on YouTube, so I just scrolled down down the page, like, hey, I don't want to see that. That's fucking creepy. Like, and I had trouble sleeping that night when I was watching. Oh, yeah.
That's what you texted me, like, that was a really creepy
I didn't think I could, like, see something that would, like, in my adult age that could like disturb me like that, aside from like real life like violence and all, obviously. But like that was like fuck, because I know it's all fake in a movie, but like, fuck, that creeped me out.
Good.
That's
I'm
like,
glad that it's like that it still stands up after all these years, you know? It's not just remembered because, well, I mean, it is all about the ending, but it's not just the fact that it's a dick. It's
just that
it
it's such a creepy image.
Yeah.
It just it's because they used like a prosthetic face. That's why it's so disturbing.
And it leaves you wanting so much more. It really does.
Yeah, I want to know.
You want to know exactly what the next moment happens. Like, how do? Okay, so
I want the direct follow up.
What happens next? You know?
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of notes now that we've gone.
Wait, I want to ask you.
Go for it.
When you first saw this as a film, were you this last scene as a child?
Mm-hmm.
You had nightmares, right?
I think I probably did.
This would have fucking sent me to the therapist office as a kid.
It wasn't anything that stood out amongst all the other kind of shit that I was watching back then. But it was definitely significant, that's for sure.
No, that's something you don't forget.
Like it was scarier than the first. I would compare it to like the same way I felt at. I mean, the first Friday the 13th film when I first saw it, like 8 or 9, which I shouldn't have, but I did. I felt the same creeped out feeling that I saw after watching that movie. They were both very dark, sinister endings. Like it's just creepy, man. And it stays with me all these years later. But it was very, I think more so was as a kid, rather than being upset about how creepy it was, I was upset that there wasn't fucking part 2 at the local video store because I just wanted to know what happens next.
And then later
you watch part 3, and man, there is so much that happens in between part. I don't mean that
nothing.
I don't mean no. Let me. I don't mean that part 2 gives you all the answers, but I mean from my perspective back then. Part 1 ends. I start watching part 3, and it's like, what the fuck happened in between? You know, how did we get from point A to fucking E? You know,
and then you realize later in life, everything that happened in part 3 happened in part 2, basically. Right. Oh man, fuck those movies.
So can I?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so here's a few things that I'd like to go over. I know I already went through this before, but yeah, again, like signs that Ben knew Artie was a molester, but didn't seem to care anyways. Artie, they're too young to even know or understand what's on your mind. And then there's the other scene when he doesn't say anything when Ronnie leaves Angela alone with Artie. And because Ben's like, Ron, there's a phone call on the line for mail. And Ronnie says, hey, take that, will you, Ben? And then for some, Ben, or James Earl Ben, he doesn't go, Ronnie, perhaps Artie shouldn't be left alone with the mute child. Earlier, he was making some questionable analogies about children, like calling them fresh chickens and baldies, and I just don't think the situation is leading anywhere but to bad things. But no, he doesn't say that. He should have. And then, yes, sir, I always knew he had a bit of the devil in him. The final 5 minutes are this insane crisis where shit really goes down, and a million things happen all at once, with kids missing, bodies turning up, camp counselors freaking out, and mustaches turning up into electrical tape. I can't decide whether Paul was he just really stands out to me in a lot of ways. I think it's because he was involved, and the final scene was very emotional, a very emotional scene because there's so much going on, and like the 80s techno music, and it's like this love song from Paul's perspective about the lyrics. If I can bring them up here, I'll just go over some of the lyrics. Sorry, just a second. Yeah. I mean, it's all about how, from Paul's perspective of the story, how he likes this girl. When I look into your eyes, it comes as no surprise. You're slipping away. Angie, you're the love of my life. It's so cold at night, begging you to stay, because he's always apologizing to her. I know it's all a masquerade. I know you're not afraid, because you're the killer. You're just what I've been looking for. No other boy can love you more. You're the only girl I adore. Time will mend your broken heart. Just don't fall apart. The truth will hold inside. Angie, I don't want to let you go. I don't want to let you go. The pain you have to hide. Like, it's clearly from Paul, if anybody, Paul. I can't decide whether Paul was a douchey guy stuck in a preteen growing body, or a misguided nice kid conditioned to be like the douchey older kids. Because there's certain scenes in the movie when you could, like the scene when they're playing Capture the Flag, and he apologizes, and she's like, oh, and he's like, hey, it's okay, and he puts his arm around her. It just like comes off as a douchebag, but I don't think he means to be. I don't think he's trying to be a good guy. I love him and I hate him. And given the high emotions involved in the surprise ending, I can't help but feel sorry for him. It's like as though this was some sort of tragic, romantic ending to his life. Forever, if you will. It's like he's forever encapsulated in time on that dark beach in 1982, trying to make out, trying to make up, but just making all the wrong moves. And why was Paul's head smiling? He would have seen that Angela was a boy, and based on Ronnie's reaction to Angela's revelation, and it was the early 80s, and like one can only assume that Paul would have also been surprised and probably dismayed as well, seeing that she has a penis, I'm guessing. And I'm just saying that I don't think Paul was gay based on his previous actions and words. And yeah. Or perhaps he did know her secret.
Maybe he always knew.
Maybe
and we're just like, oh, you're being yourself.
The lyrics of the song. Maybe you're just maybe that's why he liked her. Which is maybe why he pursued her. I mean, just look at the lyrics, and in which case, if maybe he was gay and he knew that she had a penis, and it just makes it all the more tragic because it's like the story of tragic love. In which case, the lover inside of Angela, I've thought a lot about this, you can see.
Yeah.
But the lover inside of Angela could forgive Paul, but not the killer inside of her, right?
Yes.
The ending. Sorry. It just.
It's rough, man. It's sad.
It really leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
Almost painfully. You want to know what happens.
And I'm still waiting for more 4 sequels.
Even
later.
after seeing. I want to know
Jesus
what's the
Christ.
very next moment.
How can you?
You want to know what's happening. It's like the credits roll. It's like, yeah, but you're just. It's like it's bad enough that you want to know what happens the next minute. It's even worse that you're staring at that moment frozen in time in front of you. It's like, well, what happens in the next second?
Right.
So here's like a list of things that could have happened in the very next moment or following these events. Did Angela chase Ronnie and Susie away? And was Ronnie stupid and scared enough to not just, use his bodybuilder body to defend himself?
Bodybuilder body.
To defend himself against a teenage boy so skinny that he passed as a fragile girl all this time that nobody could have ever believed was a boy or a killer. Did Ronnie eventually notice the severity of Paul's severed head?
That's funny.
Did she kill everyone? Did Ronnie go on being shocked about Angela's dick and nothing else? Did Ronnie run off to the rest of the campers and say, quick, everybody, hide, Angela's a boy?
Yeah, it would be that. It would not be Angela's a killer. Angela's a boy.
Angela's a boy, hide, quick. Did he continue to not notice or care that Paul is dead? Did he pick up Paul's severed head? Did he pick up Paul's severed head and say, Paul, Angela's a boy, can you believe it? Paul, my God, are you in shock?
Oh my God.
Paul, did Ronnie spend years in therapy saying to his doctor, I just can't believe that Angela's a boy, doctor. My God, it traumatized me. And then his doctor would say, like in an intellectual voice, like, Ron, did you ever think it's time to be less concerned with a child's transgender and maybe it's time to be more concerned about the many lawsuits coming your way as the sole surviving owner of a summer camp where most of the children were murdered under your supervision? And Ronnie,
he's a boy.
But she's a boy, doctor. And he would reply, Doc, you don't understand. I was a male prostitute in the Bronx during the 70s. I should have seen this coming miles away. Maybe I should start another summer camp. And did he? Well, you'll just have to watch the sequels to find that out.
Return to Sleepaway Camp 2. What if he did the doctor did like a Rorschach test, and he's like, "What do you see, Ronnie?" And he's like, "It's a boy. It's a boy. It's boy."
I mean, Ronnie, you know what I mean. He was
Ronnie's
the greatest character.
Pretty funny. Well,
and what are your thoughts overall? Like, what does this film leave you with?
Well, it leaves me wanting more.
Oh,
It gives me some laughs. It's a memorable slasher movie that I feel like excels over a lot of them.
Do you have a favorite moment or line in the film above everything else?
Oh, she's a real carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and needs a screw. That's my favorite line.
Fuck off!
Fuck off! Although I do love at the beginning. I don't know if they mentioned that when the dad gets knocked off the boat and he's like, "You little schemers!
You little schemers!" Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good too. And
All right, you little schemers.
Everything the mother says is hilarious. Aunt Martha. Don't ask where you got them.
No, I'm afraid that wouldn't do it all.
Wouldn't do it all.
Why not? What's the big deal?
Ronnie didn't know about Angela's peenie, did he? Did Randall know?
What do you mean? Did he know?
Did he know about the
If
peenie?
he knew, why would he be so surprised and shocked about it?
No, not Ron. Sorry, Ricky. There's too many R names.
Oh.
Did Ricky know about the peenie?
Let me think here.
Maybe.
Maybe he never. Maybe even
But
by the time Return to Sleepaway Camp comes around.
Maybe not.
He still doesn't even know.
Maybe he always thought that Peter died. Peter died. I don't know.
I don't think he did. If he does,
he knew them before, and he's
Although, wait, where is he supposed
to
to be? Is he supposed to be somewhere?
Yeah, he's with his father.
He's with
That's
his
what
father.
he was supposed to show up, but he was with his father.
So maybe he was gone the whole time while Peter was recovering and transforming into Angela.
That's possible.
And then he comes back and it's like, oh, Richard.
But also that could
Angela.
explain if he knew about her having a penis. That could also explain why he was so protective of her, aside from just being family. I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's not enough proof either side.
We know that he's protective of her, and we know that he tells Paul what happened to her, and it's this whole fan theory. Did Paul know that she had a penis, and was that why he liked her? And was that why he was smiling at her?
Was Ricky one of the killers? That's another fan theory.
A co-killer.
Because in the Judy scene, you see Ricky. You see Ricky's in the doorway with a wig on.
That's what it is. It's Ricky when she's like, "Who is that? Who's there?" And it shows Ricky standing there with a wig on.
Yeah, because that's what they did in the movie. Apparently, there was a thing in what's her name, Felicia Rose.
Yeah,
there was something in her contract where she wouldn't actually do any of the killings.
Right.
It was.
Well, I thought it was just because they wanted to keep things ambiguous.
Well, that too.
And the fact that Angela is a boy, so they couldn't have had her Felicia Rose's hand. Because they wanted to say it's a boy, she had feminine hands.
It also throws you off track a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I am okay. So you like this movie though, right?
I love this movie. I could watch it over and over again.
Me too.
Do you think you'll watch it again soon?
Probably not. I might want to get that Blu-ray. The Blu-ray sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
I want to get those commentaries.
What do you call it when we plug stuff at the
end? Plug bag.
Yeah.
What's your plug? What do you want to plug?
Don't bite spoons.
Okay, but what do you want to plug?
I want to plug the idea of not biting a spoon.
Who bites a spoon?
I did, and I chipped my tooth.
Recently?
Yeah.
Why'd you bite a spoon, Yuri?
Well, obviously I shouldn't have.
Was it an accident?
Yeah.
How could you even do that in an accident?
I think I was watching American Horror Story, which, by the way,
is shit.
I think it's the best season they've had.
Oh my god!
And I think that Ryan
Reynolds,
he's really using. I mean, this isn't why I like it so much. I don't really care for Lady Gaga, but I was really not expecting much, but I think that he's using her to the best way that she can be used in this context.
Well,
No, just like how awkward and peculiar she is.
Yeah.
And it really works well in a lot of scenes, like the visuals and everything.
I love that one scene where she's like, "Your boy has a jaw for days."
Right. She's just this creepy,
fuck?
weird fucking... Anyways.
But I'm never scared by American Horror Story.
Well, okay.
I'm supposed to be... I feel like I'm supposed to be scared. I'm never scared.
I'm thinking...
I'm just like...
The scariest season was... The first two were pretty creepy. This... I don't watch the show.
How is it that Sleepaway Camp is scarier than American Horror Story? An outdated 80s horror slasher film is scarier than like a new supposed to be an anthology horror series.
Pretty much accidentally too.
Like I laughed more than I've ever been scared at this season of American Horror Story. You know?
Anyways, you're right. But I was watching
I'm right, it sucks.
I was watching it and eating pasta.
Yeah,
and then I bit the spoon. But it wasn't just my top tooth. I like scraped all the enamel off of my bottom tooth and cracked 3 front teeth. So fuck. Don't bite spoons.
Yuri, man, you're falling apart.
What?
Are you happy, Ryan Murphy? Yuri's chipped teeth are on your hands. You and Brad Falachuk, you fuck.
I'm falling apart. I've grown out my facial hair. My hair is long. I've been working midnight shifts. Don't bite spoons. That is all.
Brad Falachuk is the worst. I hate him.
Who?
He's Ryan Murphy's co-writer on American Horror Story.
Oh, all right.
He's dating Gwyneth Paltrow right now.
Oh boy.
That gives you a hint of how repulsive of a person he is. He's the only person that can stomach Gwyneth Paltrow.
She's such a dear.
She is a dear, all right. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Next time. You won't find out what happened the very next moment, and you never will.
No, next time you'll be disappointed. Yeah. By Sleepaway Camp 2.
Catch you later.
See ya.
When I look into your eyes, it comes as no surprise. You're slipping away, and yet you're the love of my life. It's so cold at night, beg you to stay. I know it's all a masquerade. I know you're not afraid. You're just what I've been looking for. No other boy can love you more. You're the only girl I adore. You're just what I've been looking for.